In today's episode, we're going to be talking about this ball valve, what it's used for, and why I don't think you need one. Guys, welcome to the Mr. Bubbles channel, where we dish out awesome pressure washing business advice to beginners. I got a good one for you guys. You saw from the intro, we're going to be talking about the ball valve. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to get this announcement out of the way. So we have sent out, guys, on last Friday and Monday, we've already sent out over 70 businesses in a box. If you don't yet know, all the way to the end of this week, we're going to be giving out a free business in a box to anyone who signs up for our membership here through YouTube. If you guys see here underneath the video, you're going to see a join button. Guys, it's $5 a month. It's something through YouTube. It's got a bunch of videos on there that are for members only. So that's a huge, huge perk. But that $5 a week, guys, essentially it's your tuition to this Power Washing Academy, this virtual trade school that is Mr. Bubbles. And a great thing about the business in a box, guys, that's almost a $200 value, which essentially pays for your membership anyway for the next 3 years. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. And by the way, your business in a box, it has over 300 before and after pictures, guys, that you can use on all your social medias, your website, your Google My Business. And guess what, guys? It's got every blueprint I've ever created for my business. In total, your business in a box has over 500 documents in it. We send you the flash drive in the mail. So go ahead and sign up for that, guys. You want to talk about a no-brainer? That's a no-brainer. And remember, we're only running that special all the way to the end of the week. So this is your last opportunity to pick that up for free. So let's go ahead and jump into today's episode now that we got that out of the way. We are talking about this ball valve. Now, a lot of you guys, ever since I started my channel have actually asked me why I don't use this. And, when you're watching videos of other content creators, you notice this at the end of their wand. I'm going to explain to you what this is. So this ball valve is actually essentially a shutoff valve for your pressure line. So I got two different wands here with me. I'm going to show you guys how this works with your wand. And, in order to put this on your wand, you're going to need two parts, a male and a female quick connect. So let me go ahead and just put this on here so I can show you real quick. This is your female, right? Female quick connect. And then your male. And what you're going to do is on your wand, right, which wand you guys have. And by the way, the wand that I use, guys, is called the YG5000. YG5000. I actually put it up here for you guys, YG5000. I actually have a list that I can send you guys if you email me, where I have my complete equipment list. A lot of you guys ask me for that. It's my Amazon shopping list, and this gun is actually on there. This is where I get that, on Amazon. So you guys see that. I have my wand here. Of course, this is the one without the lance, and I got the one here to show you guys with the lance as well. I got my J-rod in there. Okay, so this is an example. So let's say I had this set up. Now, a lot of you guys have seen guys out in the field, other content creators, when they're washing, that they do have this at the end of their gun. And what is it for? Well, it's to shut off the water that's coming into your line, your pressure washing line, right? Because you see this right here? So my pressure line would be connected right here. And then the reason for this being, guys, is instead of having to walk to the truck, for example, to turn off the machine in order to, undo my gun. Because remember, you can't undo your gun if the machine is on, because there's too much pressure in there, right? So in order for you to avoid that, you just shut off the water right there, and then you can go ahead and just take your wand off. Now, in what purpose would this serve? This is so, like, for example, this is actually a great example. Let's say you're doing a patio in the back of the house, okay? So you got your line extended out 200 feet. And without this shut-off valve on your line, what would happen is you would have to walk to the truck, right? If you're doing that patio. So let's say you already put the solution in there. Now you need to switch to your surface cleaner, okay? You're going to have to walk to the truck, turn your machine off, walk back to the patio, disconnect your wand, connect your surface cleaner, walk back to the truck, turn your machine back on, walk back to do the patio. Guys, that's a lot of moving around. And guess what? When you're done surface cleaning and you're going to switch back to your wand, you're going to have to repeat that whole process all over again. So in order to avoid that again, like let's say I've already sauced up the patio, then I got my surface cleaner right there. I just turn the water off. I disconnect right here. I connect this straight to my surface cleaner. And then once it's connected to my surface cleaner, I just turn the water back on and bam, I'm surface cleaning without having to do that whole rigmarole of having to turn the machine off. So that's why guys out in the field use this. Now this right here is the DN10. Pretty much every major supplier, a pressure washing supply is going to have this valve if you want to get it. Now, the reason why I don't recommend it for you guys, because I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to break down for you actually why I don't use it, because I do get this question probably, I want to say 2-3 times a month, where you guys will ask me how come I don't use a bell valve, and this is one of the main reasons. So when I first started in the business, guys, I actually had an accident where I fell from a ladder, like about 14, 15 feet in the air, and I slipped. And when I slipped, I actually fell backwards. But what I did is in the air, I did like a tuck and roll because I didn't want to fall and hit the back of my head. So when I did that tuck and roll in the air, I landed on my right shoulder. Initially, I thought I had broken my shoulder, but actually what happened was I just tore my rotator cuff in the worst possible way that you can think. And, you know, when I finally made it back to work, man, guys, like, I don't know if any of you guys ever torn your rotator cuff, but it is one of the most excruciating pains out there. And the problem is I just could not raise my arm above a certain level. You know, it's like rotator cuff injury. It causes this burning, like this massively burning sensation on your shoulder, like somebody's holding like a blowtorch to your shoulder. And it hurts so much whenever you try to raise your hand, like up above about right there. So what I did back then is I just stripped my system down to, as lightweight as possible. So, that's when I started using a wand, a gun setup without that lance, right? And then also this right here, guys, is pretty heavy. Like this one piece is heavier than this with the J-rod on there. This weighs less than this. Imagine that. So, if you have 4 or 5 houses to wash, and this can get pretty heavy on you, and by hour 2 or 3 of using this, especially in my case with the torn rotator cuff, it really, 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 really hurt me. And then the other thing that I'm going to say about that is this. You guys have heard me say this before, when it comes to your systems, to your rig building systems, I'm a huge believer in simplicity over complexity. I like as few moving parts as possible, guys. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't recommend you guys get this, because you're just adding one more element that has the possibility to fail on you out there on the field. You guys know, it's hard to problem solve and troubleshoot things out in the field, guys. So what I recommend you do is just have a very, very simple system, one that, you're not going to have to, dive too deep into how to, repair it or fixing things and things of that nature, because most of you guys are brand new and you're just not going to have the capability or the skill set to do that just yet, right? So you want a very, very, very little amount of moving parts. So if you've watched my trailer build or my truck build series, guys, you're going to see that I do not have this part on there. The build is essentially you got a buffer tank, right? A water tank, a chemical tank, 2 hose reels, one for the pressure, one for the water that goes to the house, your machine, and that's basically it. The only other moving part really is your downstream injector that we talked about the other day. And, this is going to help you guys out in the field when your systems are very simple, because what you guys need first, for your first year and a half out there in the field, guys, you just need a lot of experience, because that's where your money really comes from. from experience. And then the other thing I'm going to say about that is this. This is one of those things, guys, that you only really need depending on what type of business that you have. Like, if your business is set up where you're doing a lot of commercial work and you're doing a lot of flat work where you're constantly switching between wand and surface cleaner, then yeah, I would get that. Also, like, I'll give you guys an awesome example. So I got a buddy of mine who has a pressure washing business, but his focus is hood cleaning. So, he works at night mostly, and, they're cleaning the hoods of the restaurants, like 7-Elevens and restaurants and things like of that nature. So he's all the way up there in the building, guys. So this part here is essential for him because he can't walk all the way down the stairs, down the side of the building to his truck just to turn this off. That would be very not productive, right? You guys got that? So, he has to have this as part of his system because when he's switching from different wands or different parts, he can just shut the thing off, connect whatever he needs to connect, and turn it back on. So you guys see what I'm saying with that? In my business from the very beginning, the focus was always just house washing. Eventually, we added concrete cleaning to that. But for us here, it doesn't really make a difference. And that's my third point for you guys with this one is this. You just don't have the enough business yet, guys, that this one part is going to make a big difference for you and your rig because, most of you guys listening, a lot of you guys don't even have a pressure washing business yet. And the ones that do, you're doing what? 4, maybe 5, less than 10 jobs a week. That's not enough for you to be able to say, to just have a part like this because it's not going to save you any amount of time. This would save you time if you have 4 to 6 jobs every day and you're constantly switching between parts or guns. Like, I'll give you guys an example. I love this gun setup here, especially for gutter cleaning, okay? So why do I love it so much for gutter cleaning? Because when you get up to the gutter line on your ladder, it's hard to manipulate right there with the wand, when you have the lance, the 36-inch lance. And with this, I can just go like this. And then when I have my shutoff valve on there, I can just turn the water off and I can use my shutoff valve to rinse. And a lot of guys do that also when they're rinsing, driveways and patios, they'll just rinse with this. But again, if you're at the level where you're doing 4 to 6 jobs a day, you guys got to understand something. A ball valve is only going to save you, if you have 4 to 6 jobs a day, like 20 to 30 minutes of your time, which is important when you are at that level because that's 20, 30 minutes that you could be spending on administration or getting home early or doing flyers, things of that nature. But for you guys that are doing 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs a week, it's not going to make any difference. And again, you're just adding another moving part because these things, guys, chemical get on them. And after a few months, this stops working. You're going to have to get a new one. So again, make your life super simple, guys. Make your rig super simple. Focus on acquiring knowledge. I tell you guys this all the time. Your money out in the field doesn't come from, certain equipment or having a nice truck, for example. It comes from your expertise. It comes from your experience. Because I say this all the time on the channel. The more you know, the more you'll grow. And what that means is the more you know, you grow your knowledge base, meaning like how to sell, how to market, how to brand yourself properly, the more money you're going to make. So that's why I don't really recommend for you new guys, I should say, out there, the ball valve, because number one, you just don't have the amount of business to justify having that moving part. Number two, I mean, guys, it's not something that is going to make or break your business. That's not one of those things, right? It's one of those things that it's very relative to the type of business that you have. And that's why I recommend you guys, when you're building your systems or you're thinking about building a system, make sure, guys, that you are super focused on keeping it simple. I love the acronym KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it short and simple. Keep your systems very simple, guys, and you're going to go long way. And that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you coming to the channel today and watching this pressure washing advice video. Highly recommend you watch the next one as well. Guys, in the next episode, we're going to be talking about habits, specifically 7 habits. You remember a few videos ago, we talked about how important, certain habits are going to be going into 2025. So I'm going to break down for you exactly what those habits should be. That's going to help you increase in profitability on all that going into 2025. And then also, I have awesome resources to share with you guys for free. You just have to email me and ask for example, we already have the pricing PDF for 2025 out. It's a 2-page PDF, by the way. And we also have, marketing blueprint for new guys. So just email me, ask for those things, and we're going to email those to you. My email, by the way, is in the description of this video. Super simple. And I truly, really do love it when you guys email me. I get anywhere between 80 to 120 emails a day. And I absolutely love that part of my day, that interaction with you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.